This is a puzzle I made for a speed setting competition hosted by Nityant Agarwal. At the time I made this puzzle, I thought it was broken and had to forfeit, but I later revisited it and it turns out it was not broken, it was just my understanding of it that was broken. It's a Cypher Skyscrapers Sudoku. Try saying that 3 times fast. It revolves around this visual theme of Le Puzzle, and this puzzle in particular is going to help us with a lot of early steps in solving this. These two z's together are going to be important because they can't both be a digit like 4, for instance, because then we can't place 6 in any of these cells, or else this skyscraper would not see 4 buildings. And we can't place 6 in any of these cells, or else this skyscraper would be broken. So the 6 for both of these rows would have to go into this box, and that would break the Sudoku. Similarly, these can't be 5 or 6, so these are from 1, 2, and 3. They also can't both be 1, because if they were both 1, then the 6 for both of these rows would have to go in the first spot, and that would also break the Sudoku. So these skyscraper clues are going to be chosen from 2 and 3. We can do a similar thing for these 2 rows and these 2 rows as well. These 2 can't both be selected from 4, 5, and 6, otherwise we're going to eliminate all positions for 6 from this box. And similarly, these cannot be from 4, 5, and 6 both, or else we'll eliminate all of the 6s from this box. And so one of these, and exactly one of these, is going to be from 1, 2, and 3. And one of these is going to be from 1, 2, and 3. We can't have more than that, otherwise we would overrun the number of 1, 2s, and 3s available for these letters. The next thing to take into consideration is where we can place 6 in this column. Obviously it can't go in front of the z's, so it's going to have to go into one of these 4 cells. Whichever cell it does go into is going to make one of these clues a 1. But notice that if either the P, U, L, or E is a 1, then we can say the same thing up here. Either P, U, L, or E is a 1, and therefore forces a 6 into one of these 3 cells within the box. It can't go here because then L and P would both have to be 1, which is not allowed under the rules. So either this is a 6, which would make E a 1 and P a 2, or this is a 6, which would make U the 1 and L the 2. Both of these are fine since that would put a single 1, 2 in both of these boxes. But notice that no matter what, we have located the 1 and 2, and so Z has to be the 3. That's going to place the 6 in this box into one of these 2 cells. And more importantly, it's going to eliminate 5 from these 2 cells. These can no longer be 5, because then one of these clues would have to be a 2. So we can look at where 5 can go in this column. It can no longer go in these cells. If we tried to place 5 here, that would make both L and P 2, which is no good. And if we tried to place 5 here, that would force the 6 up here, and U and P would then both have to be 2, which is also no good. So 5 in this column is actually forced down into one of these 2 cells, which is going to make either the L or E be the 2 clue, and we know that it can't be the E because of where these 6s go. So L has to be 2, that places the 6 here and makes U the 1. E and P are therefore selected from 4, 5, and 6. We can also ask now where the 6 goes in this box, because this is 4, 5, or 6. It can't go in any of these cells. Because of the 6 is in this box, it can't go here. So 6 is going to go here. The 5 and 6 now look into this box and place 5 and 6 down here, but neither of them can go here because that would make this clue a 1 or a 2. So they're going to form a pair down here. Now 4 in this column is going to become important. Because these clues are both 4, 5, and 6, we can no longer place 4 in either of these 2 cells, because then the most number of buildings we could see would be 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 4 in this column is going in one of these 2 cells. 4 in this column now, it can't go here because this cell is in front of the E clue and it would make it a 1, 2, or a 3. It can't go in this box anymore because we already know where the 4 goes in this box. So it has to go in one of these 2 cells. And notice that no matter which cell we choose, it's going to be one step out from an E. And let's look at this one up top, for instance. If I put a 4 here, the maximum number of buildings this E could see would be 1 here, 4, 5, and 6. And same thing, if I put a 4 here, then the maximum number of buildings this could see would be 1, 4, 5, 6. So irrespective of where the 4 goes in this column, we know that the E is going to be our 4. The P can't be a 4, so it's a 5 or a 6. And in fact, it can't be a 6 because then both of these would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to cause a lot of problems up in this box. So we now know the value of all of our skyscraper clues. This 5 is going to restrict 6 in this row to one of these two cells. But this 5 is going to restrict 6 in the column to one of these two cells. So we know for a fact that this is the 6. That means that all of these buildings in the row must be seen. That's going to place 5 now in this box. It can't go here because that would put too much restriction on the 4. So it has to go here. 5 in this box is going in one of these two cells. This cell can no longer be a 5, so this is 1, 2, 3, or 4, but regardless of what value it takes, it can never be seen by this 5. So these are going to be the 5 cells seen by this skyscraper clue. That's going to place 4 in one of these two cells. 4 in this row. Again, it can't go directly in front of the 4, so it has to be in one of these two cells. And now we're going to have a bit of a tricky step. And the key thing to note is that if 4 goes here, then this 4 has to see this building, 5, and 6. Conversely, that means that if this is a 6, this 4 has to see all of these buildings, but the 5 is over here, which forces the 4 over here. So if this is a 6, then this is a 4. But if this is a 5, then this is a 4. So we know, regardless of what this value is, one of these two cells is a 4. And that's going to eliminate 4 from this cell. So we get 3, 2, 1. That places the 4 here. That does shift the 4 over to here. Doesn't necessarily tell us that this is a 6 because this could still be bigger than this cell and go 4, 5, 6. This cell now, however, can no longer be a 4. That's going to place the 5 and the 4 in this column. 5 goes down here, 4 goes up here. And now looking at this row, we need to see 3 buildings, but the first building we see is a 4, so we have to see 4, 5, and 6. So the 6 has to go back here. That fills in 5, 6 there, gives us 5 in this box. That's a 4. We're left with 1, 2, and 3 to fill out the bottom here. 6 in this box is now placed. This is a 1 or a 2, this is a 1 or a 3, this is a 2 or a 3. We have 1, 2, 3 left for this box as well, but notice that in order for this 4 clue to be valid, we see these two buildings, so we need to see both of these two, meaning that this cannot be a 3, this has to be the 2. 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3. 4 up here is going to place 4 in this box, and now we've just got 1s, 2s, and 3s left to finish out, and that is where this odd clue is going to come into play, forcing this to be the 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, and that is the solution to the puzzle.